All good, all good in the hood. All good, all good in the hood. All good, all good in the hood. All good in the hood.
Morning.
What's up, YouTube? T2.
Hey, YouTube. AP Real.
AP Real.
Welcome to our channel.
You're kind of a Flyers fan.
I am a Flyers fan. So something interesting is I have been a Flyers fan for as long as I can remember, Philadelphia Flyers hockey. And I haven't watched any hockey for the past year because I can't really look at the TV screen or like the screen in general. I like to go to a game. Did you see what the name is on my jersey? AP Real.
That's pretty awesome.
Yes. It is.
So you're on the team?
I mean, I'm the captain.
Are you Grundy? No.
Gritty?
Gritty?
Oh, man. I would love
Who
to
has
be
a
Gritty.
mascot named Gritty? Oh,
The Flyers.
Philly Flyers.
Gritty's the new pretty.
Gritty is the new pretty.
And it's like, fly or die, bitches. I love the Flyers.
Does that mean?
What?
Are those games pretty like?
I mean,
Well, it's Philly.
I mean, it's Philly. Like, I was at a Flyers game with my mom, and we were in our seats that we got that were like pretty nosebleed oriented.
Mm-hmm.
And in our zone, it was all Flyers fans. Everybody in orange,
Mm-hmm.
like orange and black. Everybody's in. And then two Devils fans come in to the zone who are New Jersey. And my mom's like, in the wrong zone, boys. I'm like, whoa, really?
Mom.
Even my mom is mad.
Talking smack.
Starting some shit.
That's interesting.
It is. I don't know what it is. Like it's like a human thing. Like people stick together and it's their band and it's their team and it's their posse and if you're not in that crew, you better get the funk out because we don't want you. We don't like you. We don't think you belong here.
Yeah.
You don't, actually. It's too bad the Native Americans didn't have that attitude towards the white settlers. They weren't just like, listen, peace, you're out. We're going to trounce on you.
I think they did.
They did. They didn't have all the like muskets and
No, they
cannons
were,
and
but then they kept signing a bunch of
like treaties
that we never like upheld
Oh, damn it.
because we're liars and cheats.
Today is Indigenous People Day.
This is like one of those things that governments, groups of people that destroy other cultures throw out there as like some sort of.
So, and I read that that like Seattle and
It's
Minneapolis
okay.
were the cities that really pushed for Indigenous People Day to be the renaming of the day. And I saw an article that was from 2 days ago that said, "Are we celebrating cultural heritage or the colonization of Native Americans?" How did Mount Hood get its name?
Yeah.
And then we thought about it for a few minutes and we were thinking of I'm from Pennsylvania and there's a lot of things are named Native names and they have stuck because I guess they weren't like big and tall and important enough to get a white person's name like Mount Hood, Mount Adams, Mount St. Helens, Mount Rainier.
There was a guy in the British Navy who was a badass, and he became Viscount Hood.
Oh.
He's the first person to have that title. His name was Viscount.
It's not a discount.
Discount with a V. And he became.
Discount.
They started a whole rank and file thing in the Navy because of this guy. So he was the very first Viscount Hood. His name was Samuel Hood, Admiral Samuel Hood. And an expedition of people, British sailors on the northwest coast off of Oregon, what would be Oregon and Washington, in 1792.
1792.
They came in and they sailed through the mouth of Astoria up into what is Portland,
Columbia River.
Sauvie Island.
Ooh.
And from Sauvie Island, one of the guys on the ship saw the white-capped peak of East Mountain. And he named it after Admiral Samuel Hood.
Ooh.
in honor of all this stuff he did.
He's like, there's your mountain.
They didn't even come here. That was from Portland. That's 100 miles away.
So he didn't like climb it. Or
he didn't
ski
have any.
down it
He
really
wasn't even on the
fast.
ship. He was just a guy in England that was a big deal, and they named the mountain after him. It's just like if somebody was like, they're pretty much what we would call a celebrity. We'd be like, that's Matt Damon Mountain, because Matt Damon inspired me to write on the chalkboard. Oh wait, was that Ben Affleck? I don't know. Mount Hood. We're gonna start a campaign to change it back to Wyeast.
Yeah, Wyeast is the beach that towers above this valley and gorge that we all love.
The Multnomah tribe of the Chinook Indians, that they called it Wyeast.
We'll shred till we're dead in this room of white and cheers with our homies at Solera tonight.
We took it away from them and called it some British guy's name.
Shit, we still call it that. We call Hood River because of that.
We're in Hood River. We're all good in the hood. It's like Viscount Hood. Who is this guy?
Oh shit!
Hey, I'm not talking
It's
about
all
a discount.
good.
I'm talking about a Viscount.
It's all good in Viscount Hood.
What does Viscount even mean? I don't know. Maybe you're
What
from
does
England.
Viscount mean? Google that.
Yeah. Google is smart. You can be smart too. You just have to Google it.
Google it. Do you know Indigenous people? Do you know Native people? Like, are you in touch with them? Are they people that you interact with on a regular basis?
Yeah.
And then, like, personally, we answered that question, and we would love to know, like, do you have that experience? And what we talked about is how my experience with Native people is they haven't been quite very friendly. And I mean, for good reason. They got trounced and tossed and treated like garbage for generations, and they're still getting abused in a lot of ways.
They still are.
They are.
I mean,
And
nothing's changed.
everything that has happened and how it has affected, when we think people of color, we generally think Black people. But we don't really think of Natives who were got like totally trounced and tossed and treated poorly. They're not really thought of in that group.
Yeah, we talk about cultural appropriation, and people are like, "Oh, you can't take Black culture and make it into, the white." But it's like, our whole country is cultural appropriation.
A major what makes
all
you a
I
white
know
person.
is when you type white people into Wikipedia, the swastika comes up. And
It did.
That's a little heavy-handed. I mean,
Well, it was because
I know.
it was because I just had my mouse go down the page and it just like rolled over something, and then that was what popped up.
yeah, but that seemed a little like extreme. It's an extreme version of. I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just trying to get out of trouble because I don't want to deal
Because
with
you're
it.
European descent.
But we pretty much just took the land from people that lived here and then shoved them off somewhere else. And now we have a holiday supporting. We're like, we're going to support you for one day and then go away.
But it used to be Columbus Day, which is like
They did get rid of Columbus Day because that was
this guy just came in and like
well,
gave
it's-
everybody smallpox blankets and was like, "Peace, you're out." The mountains that are right in our region. So we have Mount Hood. The native name is Wyeast. Mount Adams, the native name is Klickitat. And
yeah.
Mount St. Helens was Luwala Clow, which meant like cloudy and smoky.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if anybody ever come to the Northwest, the mountains because that's the big. I mean, they're like giant mountains with snow on them all the time. They're volcanoes, right?
Clearly the thing that you would give a white man's name to. Like
Yeah,
some white
it's the
man who
most-
never
it's
was
the most
here.
prominent feature of the whole landscape are these giant mountains that are littered all over, the Northwest
From
and the West
Alaska
Coast.
all the way
Yeah.
down through into California.
So I guess since it was such a prominent figure, they're like, well, we're not going to have this savage name for this mountain. We're going to turn this into like one of our heroes, like Mount Adams. I guess that's named after
John Adams?
John Adams, the president.
Huh.
Even
And
though he
then-
was never here and he never probably even set foot on the mountain. Like Viscount
I wonder
Hood.
what Mount St. Helens is named after. That would be a good.
Who is St.
Google
Helen?
it. Yeah.
Hopefully she was somebody. But yeah, there's a whole legend about why these mountains are here, what they were doing, and the location of them and everything that
How does that go? That story.
Well, what is it? That's Klickitat. Mount Adams is Klickitat, or also, what is it? Pato?
Pato. Sounds right.
And East was Mount Hood, what we call Mount Hood now. And these were two brothers, and they were constantly fighting with each other because they would erupt. I guess this is how they explain the eruptions, because they're volcanoes. So they're always fighting with each other and like grumbling and rumbling, and that would be like, you know, the volcano part of it. And they're fighting over Lewitt. Or no.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lewitt is Mount St. Helens.
It is. Llewellyn.
Lewitt, yeah. And so they were at war. They were trying to win the hand of the maiden. I don't know how they would like travel to like see each other, but this is a legend. So
It's like a
giant,
mountain now.
you just see like giant mountains like sneaking over,
It's got a big suitcase.
sneaking over. Don't let your brother know I'm here. Wait, your brother? That sounds weird. So there, but anyway, I digress. And then they ended up getting in such a fight over her that they destroyed the Bridge of the Gods, which was the only natural bridge that crossed the Columbia River. And that's how all the local tribes and everything, that's how they got across the river. And they used to have a big trading party at the mouth, or at the base of the Bridge of the Gods. And now
Thunder Island.
Yeah, now they still call it the Bridge of the Gods, even though it's like a man-made bridge in place of the land bridge. But the two brothers got so angry that they shook the earth and knocked down the bridge. And then they couldn't get to the maiden. I guess they had to cross the bridge, even though they're mountains. Maybe they were like on roller skates or something.
They were on ice skates.
I'm clowning, but what I'm getting at is it was a really cool legend, and I don't know if many people that even live here even know about it.
Like the significance of the names and how they had a relationship.
Yeah,
the mountains had a relationship with each other, and that's
these are people that had lived here for thousands of years. They had stories. They had like events happen that they explained away in this fashion, and then we came here and we were like, oh, we're gonna name this one after this white guy from Great Britain, and we're gonna name this one after some guy. Neither person had ever been here.
He was a president.
So I think instead of having Indigenous Peoples Day like today, we should just start a campaign to rename the mountains, take them back to their original name.
Or how about if there's any particular landmark in your region that is known by its native name, but is called a white man name? What is it? Where is it, and what is it? We'd love to know that.
My flow, my show bought me the dough. That bought me all my fancy things. My crib, my car, my pool, my jewels. Look, homie, I done came up and I ain't changed.